Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Stationeers. So, this one I'm recording offline rather than live streaming on Twitch. Doesn't seem to be as much interest on Twitch, and I'm going to have to download and edit the video anyway to cut out some of the, to bring the running time down to a reasonable level. And nobody wants to watch me searching the barren landscape of the moon for some particular ore for an hour. But we can go ahead and jump right in and let's see where we're at. Alright, so last time we did some improvements. We managed a little bit of a crisis. Did not have enough power, and we still don't. But our new battery helps us to make the most of the coal that we find. And we fixed our water system so that water's no longer frozen in the pipes. However, as you can see, this isn't filling. Need to go ahead and cut that on for a little bit. The temperature in the tank has gotten below freezing. Temperature in the room is 5 Celsius, so that's not great. This is robbing a lot of the heat out of this room. That's something we'll have to address before too long. Definitely before we start trying to grow plants. But for now, we'll just get this warmed up enough to where we can get the liquid flowing again. I think with the pressure off, we can kind of concentrate on improving things a little bit. We still have some pressure though. We've got to get some food production going. And hopefully we'll be able to do that soon, but in order to do that, well, there we go. That'll do. Before we can really do that, we need to be able to better control the temperature in here. And to do that, we're going to need better power. So, I know that we don't have enough resources to create the power system we need to support this refrigerator, plus whatever heating solution we come up with. So, I think the first thing I'm going to do is head out and gather some resources. Okay, and we're back. And I'm glad I decided to edit out that mining trip, because that was lengthy. This is actually my second time coming back for water, and I ate a little too. Temperature in here is still only 4 Celsius, and the full in-game day and night has passed, so it's above freezing, but I don't know if it really warmed up any while I was out mining. But I brought back a pretty good haul. We've got some iron, found some more gold, and we got some copper. Go ahead and get this stuff started smelting. think the first thing I need to do is probably let's put this stuff in. Grab the little silver too. Maybe we'll make some solder with that. Partial stacks are there. That's not looking great. Let's go ahead and grab that 14 coal and power up that battery. Oh, I have some coal here. Good. Soup was complaining about his battery being low too. It charges that up pretty quick. Okay. It's almost done with that first stack. Top up our jetpack too.
Jetpack critical.
If I'd thought of it, I could have used this for smelting some of that. It's a little faster. But I currently have to fuel it by putting ices in there, and now the sun's up, so we'll just wait about that.
Light on.
I know we're going to need quite a bit of copper and some gold too. Oh, let's turn this up. Bruh, battery's fully charged. So, what I'm thinking is to add 2 more solar panels like that one, and then maybe we'll automate them. Alright, that's enough stuff to make a couple, yeah. Let's get this gold going too. There we go. Alright. And we're going to want a couple of frames to put up. We'll just stick with iron frames.
Jetpack on.
What's nice about this is these let sunlight through, so these won't block the sun too much for our little Tater Palace here. Let's yeah, the gold's coming. Need some more heavy cables. Yeah, we could make 12. Let's start. Need glass sheets too.
Jetpack on.
24 more to go.
Jetpack on.
That might actually be all we need. Let it go ahead and use the last of that gold up there.
Jetpack on.
We'll need more of these in the future. Alright, those are all hooked up. Now, on this side,
Jetpack on.
they have their data ports. I'm gonna automate this so that they will track the sun using a very simple and not perfectly accurate logic system. This is a design that's been around for a very long time, and they've changed some of the components in updates since it first showed up. But it still works with reasonable accuracy. And this is all temporary, right? We're going to build a proper base once we get established. So it'll be good enough for now. We just want to make sure we're meeting our power needs. And the only way we can do that is if these panels are pointed in the right direction. Let's see what we need. We're going to need a couple of I/O kits. For that. There we go. The I/O is, of course, for input and output. These are used to read and write to various devices, like those solar panels. We're going to need a sensor kit,
Hydration critical.
iron for that. Let's get us a sip.
Low pressure.
Starting to get kind of low on food, but we do have another can, I believe. Alright, sensor kit. Gonna need a memory chip. And a processor. See, we need solder for this power controller. I would like to use a power controller so that we've got a battery backup. Oh, the sun just went down. Let's see if we can make some solder in this furnace. The station media here. Well, that takes iron and lead. I was thinking of electrum. That's why when I got the silver. All right. Well. Got lead out there nearby, but I think I want to. Don't think I want to go looking for it. This is vented down. Let's maybe fire this up. This is a pretty hefty mixture of fuel in there. Pretty toasty, but we'll see if we can't burn through some of this. I think we'll leave that silver for now. It's easier to, you can divide stacks of ore, same way I did with the ices that I put in there. But ingots you can't divide by hand, so it's easier to work with if we leave it as an ore. Alright, so can't make solder. I think what we'll do, we're gonna temporarily steal this.
Jetpack on.
I think I want to put this over here. This is not wired in at all. Okay. We are gonna need more cable. But I like to have had it angled differently, but I don't want to have to rewire it because I need this space. Alright, and we have an even amount of copper. No half gram in there.
Jetpack on.
Again, that, as I understand it, if you leave a half gram of copper or gold or whatever in a machine and then you eject the ingots, you lose that half. We should go grab the renamer. That makes more copper coils. I know we're gonna need them. Now, this is a handy little tool, the labeler.
Jetpack on.
And you use it to name objects. Like so. I can see that Big Bertha is the name of the arc furnace now. But you can give meaningful names. You can also use it to set things like, well, I'll show you. That'll do us for a little bit.
Jetpack on. Hydration critical.
Have another sip.
Low pressure.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Jetpack
So the first thing we need our sensor kit done as a daylight sensor. And it needs to be on the side of the building facing the sun. It doesn't really matter that it's blocked.
Jetpack on.
As I understand it, it would work underground.
Jetpack.
Now, all of this stuff's going to be connected to the output side of this area power control. One reason for that is that it will all be separately connected in its own network, and it won't be visible to other logic devices elsewhere on the network. Another reason for the area power controller is if something happens and we run out of power during the night, we want to have a battery backup so that these keep tracking the sun so that they're ready when the sun comes up to immediately start charging again. Let's get this a meaningful name.
Power low.
There we go.
Jetpack on.
Alright, we'll drop our... Wait, it's in the way. Put them there.
Jetpack on.
There we go. So a lot of devices only have one connection, data and power. There's two versions of the solar panels that have data on opposite side from the solar connection or power connection. But there's also a version that has both on one side. In order to keep this isolated, I'm running this as a two connection solar panel. Alright, so we've got a logic reader. A logic processor, and there's multiple versions of this as well as the logic reader. I believe we need logic math. And then we need a batch writer. The batch writer can write to a type of device, in this case, a solar panel. So it will output whatever variable you set to all of them. Alright, so we're going to call this solar multi-logic memory. It's going to hold a number that we're going to use to multiply. I think it's multiply, maybe divide. The the thing about this sort of stuff is it seems complicated on the outside, but you can go in and just start working with it and see what happens. And I've done this probably 20 or 30 times at least. At least. Since I started playing this game. And it never fails that I always forget. But I figure it out. And we're going to set the value of that chip to 1.8. See the tooltip pops up. Alright, that's solar angle logic reader. Solar multi-logic math. When I'm renaming devices, I like to keep the name of what type of device it is as part of the name. That way it's easier to differentiate it from another device of the same type, but maybe or another device in the same circuit, but that is a different type of device maybe. All right. I think we're done with the labeler for now. Let's get it all wired up. So these had different connections. This logic reader has two data connections, output and an input, and a power connection. The math unit has 4 connections, power and input, output, and this is another one called, I'm not sure. Either way, it has 4 connections. The important thing is that all of these are connected up where they can see each other on the network, and there's no, none of the ports are separate from the rest of the wiring.
Jetpack on.
Okay, so let's use our screwdriver. Start making some adjustments. Now, when you're adjusting these logic chips, especially output like writers, batch writers or logic writers, it's best to have them switched off while you're changing the settings with these screws, because they're still live while you're changing those settings. And if you're cycling through different things, you may be changing things on your network and not notice it. So it's best to keep them off and get them set up. So we're reading from this solar or daylight sensor. All right, and we're reading the vertical angle. Now when we mouse over it, that's not right. Solar angle, that's what we want. Oh, it says, of course it says 0. It's not turned on. There you go. Solar angle. And we've got a long floating point number. You. Now we're going to read in from the solar angle logic reader. And we're going to multiply by what's in the memory. And that gives us something, 322. All right, now we're going to output 2 solar panels. we're going to input the result from the math. And our output variable is going to be the vertical setting on the panels. When we turn it on, there we go. Yeah. Now, if we look at these, you can see their sun's gone down. They're generating 0 watts. We look at the settings for the vertical angle. You can see if it changes over time. Actually, give that a minute and let's go deal with this water.
Low pressure.
It's warmed up a bit in here, 7 degrees now. Oh, we've got an empty can. We'll hang on to that. In fact, put it over there. Let's go get us another can of food. Alright. We've got 2 full cans of food left. So we're going to need to be growing some stuff before too long. Let's just cool down a bit. Let's go ahead and vent that. Alright. Maybe I have this set wrong. Generally speaking, when I use this particular logic setup, these solar panels will track the sun across the sky, and then when the sun goes down, they'll actually start tracking in reverse. They're not doing that, so let's see if I'm reading the wrong thing. Switch that off. Let's try reading in the vertical variable. Well, they're moving. Yep. Nope, that's not working. Switch this off. Maybe I need to divide. Ah, that looks more like it's in. If we compare the sunlit side of the Earth here, it looks like these are about where they should be. And the vertical angle is at 56%, 55%, 54%. They are moving. So maybe I have it set right. So now we have battery backup for it. It's powered up. Moving the panels. Hopefully it will track the sun at least reasonably close. This is nowhere near the most efficient or best way to do this. It's a way that works well enough, particularly on the moon, and it works okay on Mars too. Some other places the angle of the sun is not on the horizon or the ecliptic line, so it doesn't pass directly overhead. But these could be with the proper sensors and the right math. You can control these to track the sun regardless of what angle it's at. That's going to make a big difference. My hope is that this battery is going to pretty much stay charged during the day. Hopefully. What we can do is, let's go get our network analyzer card for the tablet. That will allow us to take a look and see what these wires are doing. For example, if we look at this wire coming into the battery, we can see the solar panels, see the solid generator, and we can see the small solar panel as well. Seeing no power potential on there. Once the sun comes up, that should be different. On the output, we see the transformer, we see the battery itself. See a potential of 2.43 megawatts and 395 megawatts that's being used. Depending on where you look, like this network, 9 devices. That's 3 solar panels, 4 or 5 logic devices, and the APC itself. I think. Let's see. We got batch writer, logic reader. Yeah, the area power control is included in that list. So this will show us with the network analyzer only things that are downstream of this APC. Again, that's a good way to isolate a network from the rest. This does look like it's going to work. Sun comes up. I believe the maximum these can produce is about 500 watts, and we've got 3, but they're usually only about 75 to 80% efficient. So what we're looking at is probably closer to, instead of 1500 watts, we're probably looking at, well, let's call it 1 megawatt. How much power are we using? Right now we're using 355 watts. You turn that off. 350 watts. What all are we powering here? We got the refrigerator. The pipe heater's turned off. Guess it's just idle power draw. But at any rate, we have 292 kilowatts of potential energy from that battery. Sun's up, we'll know how much we're generating. But for now, we should probably start thinking about temperature controls in there. For that, we'll need, I think you're probably going to use an AC unit. It'll require a little plumbing. We'll wire it up, put it in there. But we might save that for next time. For now, let's just wait till the sun pops over the horizon, which will be any minute now. Now there is one flaw here. These solar panels in the morning and in the evening are going to be blocking each other. It's another reason why I normally build this east to west rather than the front facing to the east. but it'll do for now. We're getting here. 386 watts. Very little out of that one. 155. 155. These two are being blocked by the ones in front of them. We're seeing over a kilowatt of power. So that's great. This should be charging up. Say it is. Not a lot of granularity in a 5 light display.
Jetpack on.
Can we look at this? 2.36 megawatt potential. Yeah, that's gone up. Oh, yeah, that's pulling power too. See, now we're pulling 665 watts with everything switched on. Of course, none of it's working right now. Still, that's alright. Because most of the time they're idle.
Hydration critical.
So, yeah. I think that's a success. They're tracking nicely. All I had to do was try to remember how to do the math. So to recap, we've got daylight sensor, a memory unit storing 1.8, a reader that reads a vertical component from the daylight sensor, a math unit that divides that by the 1.8 stored in the memory unit, and then a batch writer that outputs the results from that to the vertical component of the solar panels. And it's magic. Good stuff. Next time, I guess we'll figure out temperature controls and maybe get us some seeds in the ground. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate it. Be sure to leave comments and let me know what you think. I love to get constructive feedback. And once we get maybe a little further along, get established, let me know what you think we should tackle, or what sort of projects we should build. For now, I'm gonna have a sip of water and catch you guys next.